Hi, this is Sweet June coming back at you with another interesting video topic. This I have it on Google. What is a single mother? That's a good question. Um, now, I heard a couple of YouTubers on here mention that and give a talk about uh, single mother versus um, being what it really means to be a single mom. And I always thought that was interesting because I always thought that a single mother was someone that is the head of household, a single woman with kids. Now, that was always my definition of a single mother, was a single woman with children. But obviously, apparently, I think this is pretty interesting because um, not every single woman that has kids is classified as a single mother. I didn't realize that. I think a lot of people think, a woman it happens to be single and she has children. Okay, she's thrown into that single mother category. But every single woman that has children is not a single mother. And so I thought that'd be interesting to do a video on this topic, give you some guys some enlightenment and some and what it this definition. This is the legal definition of a single parent. What is a single mother? Single mothers are parents who care for one or more children without the physical assistance of the other biological parent. The definition and legal aspects associated with single mothers may vary according to jurisdictional laws of different regions. That is the legal definition of a single mother. It's a single mother is someone who cares for more than one children without the physical assistance of the biological parent. So that's an interesting point. Now, if you're unmarried and you have children and the father is actively, I mentioned this in one of my other videos, but I'm going into more detail here. And the father is actively involved in your children's lives. In other words, you have a good co-parenting situation. I might do a video topic talking about co-parenting. Once I'm doing a little research and stuff like that, and do some reading up on co-parenting and all that. Because I didn't have a successful co-parenting situation. I literally was a single mother. Um, so once I do some reading up on it and research on it, I'm gonna actually do a video talking about co-parenting. If you have a good co-parenting situation, if you're a single mother or a single woman that has kids, and you have a good co-parenting situation with the children's father. In other words, the children's father or child is actively they're taking 50% responsibility of the children because all things being fair and considered, it is a 50-50 type situation. 50% on the mother, 50% on the father. So if the father is 50%, has a 50% role in assisting you with raising your children, meaning he's putting in the time, he's spending the time with the children, he is paying, making sure that the children have their medical needs, uh, you know, physical needs like their clothing and food and all that kind of stuff. They're making sure that the child has all those areas of aspects of the child's life is taken care of. That the mother making sure the child you and the child have a proper shelter and all that kind of stuff. If he's taking 50% responsibility, he's giving you 50% assistance with helping you with that child. Okay, you are not considered a single mother. A single mother is someone that is raising the children. She's a single woman with children that is raising the children without the assistance of the biological father, meaning he's not giving 50%. He's giving below 50%. I like to sometimes look at things in percentages. Sometimes I think in terms of percentages. Uh, he's giving less than 50%. He's doing less than 50% of his share of the responsibilities in helping raising that child. He's not he's not um, paying. Uh, you're taking most of the financial responsibility of the child. Uh, in terms of you're doing more than 50% financially for the child. You're doing 50 more than 50% physically for the child. So you're paying more money in raising the child than the father is. Like, he's not dropping you a lot of child support, and he's not physically uh, helping you with kids, like such as dropping the children off at school, you know, uh, watching the children while you're working, taking the children places, spending time with the children, and things like that. Taking on those responsibilities. If he's not doing that, if the father is not doing that, uh, then and you're finding yourself doing, you know, most of that, the physical taking most of the physical and financial care of that child, then you are a single mother. If you're doing most of it or all of it, then you are a single mother. But you're not classified as a single mother if the father is taking on 50% or more of the responsibility in helping you with that child. So I thought that was interesting because I always thought, oh, if you're a single woman with children, you're a single mother. That's what I always thought until some people on YouTube here mentioned that, was talking about the differences. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And so I Googled it, and I was like, wow. I thought that was pretty enlightening for me because, um, like I said, I always thought the single mother was a single, unmarried woman with children. Period. Point blank. But if the father is giving you 50%, he's giving you 50% assistance with that child, then you're not really classified as a single mother because you are not raising that child alone. A single mother is someone that is raising the children predominantly on her own. She's doing um, almost, she's taking almost all the financial responsibility and the physical responsibility of the children by herself, and with little or no assistance from the other parent. That is the legal definition of a single mother. So if you are a single woman, unmarried woman that have children, and the father of your child or children is not taking on um, 50% or more, helping you, giving you 50% or more of assistance with your children, whether it be financial, physical, and all that, then you are a single mother. If you're getting that assistance from the father of your child, he's taking an active role in helping you in raising the child, helping you to make decisions, going to conferences with you, addressing any problems with the child at the school. You know, the child, the school can contact um, either you or they can contact the father, and the father can go up and take care of any situations involving the child in school. He can enroll the child in school. He has enrolled the child in school. He's, you know, picking, taking the children to daycare, dropping the children off, spending time with the children, taking the children places, doing things with the with the children. The children's able to go over to his house and spend every other weekend with him, and he, takes care of the children um, every other weekend, and then he can get them maybe half of the summer or the summer, like a split. What they call that? Joint custody, a joint custody type situation. If it's a joint custody type situation where he like gets summers with the kids, and he gets every other weekend or something like that, and a situation like that, then technically you're not a single mother, because that father is has an active role. He has an active role in helping you with raising your children. Because a single mother, now I was a single mother. I was a straight up single mother, straight up, because I didn't. My oldest son's dad was not. He didn't have an active role in my son's life, and I took on most of the financial responsibility of my oldest son. Um, I would say most majority. It wasn't 50-50. It wasn't 50-50. Most of the I got some monies, but I took on most of. I think it would be fair to say I did did most of the financial responsibility of my oldest son, and his father. I'm not bashing his father, but his father did not have an active role in his life. Like any there was if there was any issues at the school, I had to address them 90% of the time. Um, all my son's conferences, I was sitting there by myself. His father wasn't sitting beside me. I was there by myself. And my son had focusing issues, and my oldest son, he had focusing issues in school where he just couldn't focus. So I was always fine. I was always having to pop up to the school, check on him. I was constantly having to pop up to the school all the time and check on him and making sure that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. And he might have had some attention deficit problems, and I just, I didn't get it I never got him diagnosed, but he always had issues with staying focused in school. So I was always popping up at the school. If and he was having issues in that area, I was always addressing those issues. And there was a few times where his father addressed it, but I did most of the addressing. If there was any issues with my son in school, I did most of that. And so I took on most of the financial responsibility. Like I said, I got some monies, but I took on most of the financial responsibility of my oldest son, and you know, yeah. So his father was there, but he wasn't. He didn't have an active role in his life. It wasn't 50-50. And as far as my youngest son, because my oldest son and my youngest son have different fathers. My youngest son, um, his father wasn't there at all. Period. Not at all. Period. I virtually got no child support. Virtually none. I got some monies, but not very much. In the 18 years, and I was kind of in and out of court with him as far as that. And I he never took on he never he decided to not be in my son's life at all. My youngest son's dad, he decided that he made the decision that he just didn't want to be there. So I took on 100% responsibility for my youngest son. So I was a straight in most majority of the responsibility of my oldest. So I think it would be safe to say that yes, I was in fact a single mom. So, and that's if you are a single mother that has children, if the fathers, I know women that, the fathers was in the children's life very actively, and taking on most of the responsibility of the children. Equal responsibility, excuse me, equal responsibility of children. Then, then technically that woman was a single mother. Unfortunately, when they compile the stats, particularly when it comes to black people, when they compile the stats, they don't break down those statistics. People take those statistics at face value, unfortunately, particularly when it comes to black women. Those statistics are not broken down. The statistics have to be broken down. You have to break them down. When you understand statistics, you have to break them down. I took a statistic class. I did pretty good, in the class. Um, Statistics is not an exact science. You can be off and still be right. So, unfortunately, that's stat. Black women 70% head of household stat. Unfortunately, that is not broken down because they basically throw all single women in that category. Single black women, um, they throw all single black women in that category, including black women that don't have kids. They throw black women there's quite a few black women out here that don't have children. Single black women out here that don't have kids. Contrary to what most people want to believe, they throw those single women in that stat as well. See, those single black women are thrown in that stat as well, and they throw in um, the black women that have children, and the father could be in the children's life, could be having a active role in the child's life, taking on at least 50% of the responsibility of the children, and she's technically not considered a single mother. There, she's thrown into that stat as well. Okay, that's just how they do black folks. They don't break those stats down. So when people look at that stat, they look at it at face value, and they say black women are 70% a head of household, single mothers. But if you break that stat down, how many of the question with an interesting question would be how many of those black women that have single black women that have children, how many of them the fathers have are actively in the children's life? See, that's a whole nother stat. See, that's a whole nother stat. And so, if they break that down and eliminate those women out of that 70% stat, maybe that 70% will go down. So the question would be how many black women that are raising single black women that have children that are raising those children without the assistance of the biological father. This compile a stat of that by itself. I wonder what the numbers would be. Good question. You take single black women without children, take them out of that stat because they throw those black women in there too. I wonder what the numbers would be. But when they do that 70% single black head of household, that's who they throw that those women in there. They throw the women black women that don't have children, single black women that don't have kids, unmarried black women. They throw them all in the same stat. They don't break those statistics down. Single black mothers with children, they don't um, the ones that do the father is actively involved in the children's life, they don't those women are included in that stat too. So when they look at that stat, And, because black women are horribly, horribly stereotyped, people look at that stat and take it at face value. But really, in reality, that stat should be broken down. It should be broken down because you got some black fathers out here that have an active role in their child's life. And that stat hurts black men that actually are in their children's life. There's a lot of black men out here that are actually in their children's life and are taking an active role in their children's life. That statistic hurts them as well, you know. But see, they like to stereotype black folks. So because they like to stereotype black folks, then, you know, they're not gonna break down them statistics. They're just not gonna break them down. But I wonder what the numbers would be if you took single black women with no children out of that stat, and you took single mothers that are getting 50% assistance in raising the children from the biological father. You take out those women out the stat, out that hit a household stat, and then the stat would retitle the stat and say, okay, single black mothers that are raising children without the assistance of the biological father. What is that stat? That's a good question. That's a good question. So it's something for you guys to think about, something for you to, marinate on. Uh, Now this it's an article here. I'm gonna go over this article right quick. I didn't really want to make this video too long, but I just wanted to break that down for you guys. Uh, there's an article here. It says, let me check out this article right quick. Who deserves them to call themselves a single mom? This is an article. They had May 17th of 2019. And as maybe we won't read the whole thing. As only can happen as class where America's great nation can be heard being for the right to claim rights to refer to themselves as a single mother is an interesting and relevant debate. See, that's a debate going on. When it speaks on to how our married moms move forward with our lives as individuals, but also we collectively define our place in the world. First, let's get out of the way all the bras who are not single moms. Who is not a single mom? Ladies, if your husband is away on a honey trip for a weekend, you're not a single mom. Or even as Michelle Obama accidentally did, you you call yourself a single mom because your husband is really, really busy with his fabulous career. You are out. And FYI, when are a married mom and refer to yourself as a single mom, you piss off a whole lot of people who have a little or no financial help to raise their kids, or partnership that provides the emotional and logistical support that all families need. Not that you are meant anything by it, but when you say that we want to kill you, or forms and in casual conversations, I hear people, usually men who pay lots of child support, grumble about women, usually their exes, who define themselves as single moms. They have no right to say that. I paid for her manicures and weekends in Cancun and her 26-year-old personal trainer boyfriend. So it's kind of a debate going on right now. And they talk about the definition of a single mother. Uh, So there's kind of a debate about who's a single mother. Like some women like to call themselves single mothers, uh, even in a married type situation. And there are women that are married, that their fathers or their husbands are in the service, and they're spending a lot of time with the children, taking care of the children by themselves, or the 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 husband is a police officer or he's a doctor, and he's got some career where it requires him to be gone, a truck driver. He has a career that requires him to be away from home for a number of days and hours at a time, So it in a sense would feel like she would feel like she's a single mother. She would feel like she's, but actually she's really not, because even though that man is a doctor, a truck driver, or a police officer, guess what? He's still dropping you that money. He he paying them bills. He helping you with them bills. See, a single mother is financially and physically is taking on most or all the financial and physical responsibilities of the children. That's a single mother. But if you're married and your husband is simply, he has a job that requires him to be away from home for a number of hours and days, um, you're not really classified as a single mother. I know it probably, for some women it probably feels that way, but no, because uh, he at some point he does come home and interacts with the children or whatever, and then he get that check. Where that check go? He helping you pay them bills and helping you and everything. So you still got that money coming in. So and if he's making a lot of money, you might be able to hire yourself a maid or a nanny for the kids to help you with them kids. Depending on how much money he's making, he'll hire you some help from the outside to help you with the children while he's gone, um, trying to provide for the family. So I think I thought this is an interesting article. Um, so it's a ongoing debate of who can be called a single mother and who can't be called a single mother, because they say some women like to say they're single mothers, but they really aren't a single mother. So it gives me a lot of clarification, because like I said, I always thought a single mother was uh, a single woman that has children. That's the way I thought. That's what I always thought. So this is very enlightening and educational for me as well. You know, so it just lets me know I was right about myself all these years. I was 100% right about myself all these years. Well, yeah, I was a straight up single mother. I didn't need no video, no book, no Google to tell me that. So yeah, this is an interesting article, and they're talking about married moms calling themselves single mothers and all this kind of stuff. That's good. For some of us, being a single mom is better than marriage, and sometimes indeed awesome. Huh? Well, that's probably according to her, the person that's writing this article, but they ain't according to me. But that's her opinion. It depends on, I guess, depends on your situation and everything. This is a good article. Yeah, that's right. The vast majority of single moms are really truly single moms. Yeah. So people basically getting angry at women that, like, married women that's calling themselves single mothers, and women that get a lot of help from the fathers, say they calling themselves single mothers. The women that are really single mothers are upset at women calling themselves that. Then they're not classified as single mothers. So that's basically what this article is about. It's very enlightening. And so you want to read it. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but if you want to read it, let's see, Emma Johnson. It's a blog. It's a blog by Emma Johnson. If you go on Google and you click on May 17th, 2019, you go on Google. All I typed in was what is a single mother? Yeah, that's what I typed in. What is a single mother? So I typed that in. I typed in what is a single mother, and that article, when you type that in, that article pops up. Go ahead and give that a read. That's an interesting article. So that's um, basically wanted to enlighten you guys and kind of give you something to think about. If you're a single mother if you're a single woman that has children, marinate on it. And if the father is giving you 50% assistance with those children, financially and physically, then maybe you really can't call yourself a single mother. So think about that. It's something to think about. Very enlightening and something to food for thought is just something to think about. I mean, that's news to me. I learned something. I guess I don't know it all after all. I don't know everything after all. Okay, stay tuned. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And hit that notification bell so every time I do a video, you will be notified. Stay tuned. I got some more interesting video topics coming up. Going to get me a cup of coffee. Peace and love. This is Sweet June.